Hello all. In this lecture we are going to study about another application layer protocol called file transfer protocol. So transferring of files from one system to another system, either it could be from a client to a server or from a server to a client or between two systems, is one of the major tasks involved in the computer networking. So the greatest volume of data in the internet today is due to the file transfer. Okay, so whatever we do, see, if you are just browsing something over your Google, if you are asking for some information, you are getting a file, you are downloading a PDF, or you are downloading a PPT, or you are downloading some video or images. All these are taken care by the file transfer protocol. So file transfer protocol is one of the important and also a standard protocol provided by TCP/IP for copying a file from one host to another host. And here the problem is, what is the need of the protocol? What are the main functions of a protocol? For example, when two systems are using a file transfer protocol, or if one system wants to copy a file from another system, there is a possibility that the file may be in a different format. Okay, so the thing is, the requesting system is using some format, whereas the file is actually written in the server in a different format. So if your protocol is giving you the file from the server in the same format in which it has been stored, the client system may not able to understand the information. So the main function of the protocol is to convert the information which is there in the file, either it could be a text or an audio or a video. It has to convert it into a proper representation, proper data structure, and it will give the information to the client system. So all these things are taken care by the file transfer protocol. So that's what is given here. File transfer protocol is a standard mechanism provided by TCP/IP for copying a file from one host to another host. For example, two systems may use different file name conventions. File name in the sense the extension. One may be in text format, one may be in Word format. And when you do something like, you will just normally will click open with. So if it is a notepad file, you can able to open it with some other application also. So when you want to convert one file format into another file format, you are converting a Word file into a PDF file. So all these are done with the help of the file transfer protocol. So this is running in the application layer, which will be helping you to retrieve a file, to store a file in the server, and also to modify the contents of a file. Modification in the sense with respect to the formatting. So two systems may have different ways to represent text and data. Two systems may have different directory structures. All these problems have been solved by FTP. So FTP is differ from other client server applications. So all the application layer protocols are a kind of a client server application. So there is a difference in FTP compared to other, because it establishes two connections between the hosts. Whereas in all other applications, if you see, when a client wants to communicate with a server, it will be establishing a single connection over TCP. And over the communication, it will be doing the communication. Here, FTP will be establishing two different types of connection. They are, one is for the control commands, another one is for the data communication. What is the need of these two different connections? If you see, here the data transfer is a complicated process, because the two systems may use a different format of data, different file structures, different storage methodology. So the data transferring is a complicated process. Whereas the command, that is the control information, control means what? You have to just ask him whether you are ready to make a connection. He'll be telling you an acknowledgement, and he'll say again okay, again an acknowledgement. The sync command, control command, and the acknowledgement command, your ACK, your reset, all these are kind of control commands. They are all very simple. This is done only by your TCP connection establishment. It is understandable to all the people. So this connection is going to be a simple connection. So FTP uses the services of TCP. It needs two TCP connection. One for the control information. For that, it will be using the well-known port 21. Port address is 21. Whereas for the data communication, it will be using port number as 20. Okay, so two connections, two pipelines you have to imagine between two people. Normally when we see one client and one server intermediate, we will be establishing a single connection. Here two connections will be established like this. Over TCP IP, you will be establishing a control connection and you'll establish a data connection. So if you see the client side, the user interface will be there, and there is a control process and there is a data transfer process from one storage device to another storage device, or from memory of your client to the memory of your server. So data transfer will be transmitting or will be happening over the data connection, whereas the server, there is no user interface. User is not going to directly access the server. So there is a control process running, and in the user also there is a control process running. Between that there will be a control connection. So whenever there is a process, obviously you need to have a port address. For the control process, it will be using this client side. It is an ephemeral port number. It is a random number. But server side, it is a well-known port number. So for the control, it is using 21, and for the data, it is using 20. So this is the architecture of the FTP communication. The client has three components: user interface, client control process, and client data transfer process, whereas the server has only two processes: control process and the data transfer process. So when you have to explain the architecture or the communication process in terms of this picture. So initially, if you are asked to explain, so in the question I have asked to explain the communication process. So when you want to explain the communication process, first you have to explain this picture. What is control process, what is the connection, what is the well-known port number, all those things you have to explain. And then communication over the control connection is happening through the ASCII encoding. Okay, so there are different types of encoding mechanisms are available. You would have studied in your information theory encoding. There is Manchester encoding, ASCII encoding, hexadecimal coding. All different types of coding are available. Here the control connection is doing the encoding mechanism called ASCII, 7-bit ASCII. Okay, so the control connection remains connected during the entire FTP session. Suppose if I want to communicate with one server, I want to retrieve a file from a server, I may be retrieving more than 5 files. So the entire FTP session, the control connection will be active. But the data connection will be opening and closing for each file. One file I'll just transfer, and then the data connection will get closed, and after some time I may be getting the second file, then it will get closed, and then after some time I may be getting the third file. So the data connection will not be active for the entire FTP session, whereas the control connection will be active for the entire FTP session. Okay, for example, I could say, like, suppose if I want to download some video from YouTube, okay, or using some other process or some other application, you will open that, and then immediately the control connection will get established. You will download one song. Okay, at the time of downloading, your data connection will be established and your data will be getting. Once it is over, the data connection will get closed. But since you close the browser for the particular URL, since you close your YouTube, the control connection will become active. That is the meaning. And after some time, again you will open YouTube and you will download another song. Again after some time you will download another song. Once the song is getting over, the data connection will get closed, but the control connection will remain until you close your particular browser or the particular site. So in other words, when a user starts an FTP session, the control connection opens. When the control connection is open, the data connection may be opened and closed multiple times if several files are transferred. So this is what is the communication over control connection. Whereas communication over data connection is simply data has to be communicated. We want to transfer the files. Okay, so we want to transfer the files. There are three types of commands are basically used. One thing is retrieving a file. Retrieving a file means this file has to be copied from the server to the client. Similar one that you are copying from, you are downloading some file from any particular site, you are downloading a video, you are downloading an image, all these are retrieving a file. For this, the command what is used is RETR. This is the command. This command will be communicated over the control connection. So first of all, I will be initiating a command over the control connection, and then what is the particular data is transmitted over the data connection. This is one type of service. And the second one is storing a file. Storing means I want to store something into the server. So the client will be sending a copy of the file to the server. This is called as storing a file, and it is done with the help of the command called STOR, store. So this particular command is transmitted. So over the command line or over the control connection, all the commands and responses are kind of a single line. It's a very simple line information. The command is going to be a very simple line, RETR, STOR, LIST. These are very simple languages. Whereas the data, it's not like that. It may be of different format, different sizes, everything will be different. Okay, and the third service is list of file names to be sent from the server to the client. Suppose you want to Google, you are just putting some data and it is giving you back a list of information about the particular search thing. You are just typing something related. Suppose if you are typing F1 file transfer protocol in your Google, you'll be getting a lot of information you are getting from Google. That is the list. So this is done over the supervision of the list command. So when you click particular download link, or when you want to click particular file download, when you click that, your application layer protocol automatically sending the retrieving command. Suppose if you want to upload something, it will send STOR command, whereas simply if you are typing something and if you press enter, it will just send the list command. So you will be getting the list of the information. The client must define. So this is the server, this system will automatically do. Okay, so based on the action what you are doing on the user interface, the client server, the client protocol will automatically send the command, whether it is an RETR or STOR or list. Whereas the client must define the type of file to be transferred, the data structure and the transmission mode. Okay, so the client, along with this command, the command is transmitted over the command line. Along with this, the client protocol also has to define what is the type of the file, what is the data structure, and what is the transmission mode. So we are going to see this in detail. So total the local data structure and data type and the structure. So a data transfer process. So first in the architecture, if you see, the user interface will be there. That is what is the keyboard along with the screen what you are seeing now. Once you type something and you press enter, it will automatically enter into the FTP client. So the FTP client, what he will do, he will, based on the user interface, what is the action taken by the user, he'll understand that, and he will send the corresponding control command over the control process. And then he has to do some data transfer process also parallelly. For the data transfer process, he has to mention what is the data type and what is the structure and what is the transmission medium. So file type, data structure and the transmission mode are defined by the client. So file type, you can be able to use ASCII encoding or image. In the form of image also you can be able to get the information using a file transfer protocol. And whereas the data structure, when you see, there are three types of data structures are available: file structure, record structure and page structure. File structure means the file is a continuous stream of bytes. You can be able to download the entire file as a continuous stream of bytes, which means suppose if you are downloading a song, the song is one file. The file is downloaded as a continuous stream of bytes. Continuously it will be downloaded. Record structure means the file will be divided into records. That is, if you have a song of 5 minutes, it will be downloaded as 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute record. Okay, so for every 1 minute you will be getting a portion. That is record based downloading. But normally we will be using file based downloading only. The third one is page structure. The file is divided into pages. This is applicable only for text. So the text may have some 100 pages. So you can able to download as page by page. Each page will be having a page number and a page header. What is the difference between these three different structure formats? If you see, when you download a song, for example, you assume if you are downloading a single song, for example, or a movie of 3 hours, if it is a single continuous stream of bytes, if the download got failed in between, then you have to download the entire movie again. This is file structure. Whereas record structure means it will, the entire movie is, sometimes in some websites if you see, the movie will be part 1, part 2, part 3. You can able to see. This is a record. So part by part you can download. So 3 parts at a time if you download. Sometimes it will be successful in part 1 and part 2. Part 3 may be unsuccessful. Then you have to download only that particular record again, not the entire one. Whereas in the page structure, assume that a movie is uploaded to the particular server with the concept of 10 minutes. One page corresponds to 10 minutes. Okay, so you have to download that many times, that many pages. Whereas if you miss one page just to 10 minutes, sometimes you may not need that, you can leave it, or you have to just re-download only that small portion. So when you go for kind of a structures like that, it is based on the application, you can able to enhance the quality of your transmission. And this is the data structure. And the last one is about the transmission mode. So if you use a file structure, I've already explained you, file structure means a continuous stream of bytes. You have to use a mode called stream mode. There are three types of modes available: stream mode, block mode, compressed mode. Stream mode is the default mode. Data delivered from FTP to TCP as a continuous stream of bytes. Because TCP, you know, TCP will normally getting a continuous stream of information from the application layer. So the data from FTP will be giving to the TCP as a continuous stream of bytes. Even though if you use a record structure, or if you use a page structure also, for one page or for one record, it will be continuously taken as a stream of bytes. So the stream mode is a default mode which will be used in all FTP applications. TCP is responsible, and then what the TCP will do, it will chopping the data into segments of appropriate size, grouping of bytes into segments. This we already discussed. If the data is simply a stream of bytes, no end of file is required. Okay, continuously the file will come. Once the file get over, the data connection will get closed. So there is nothing to mention, this is one file, this is second file, nothing. If you have a movie, you just click on the movie will be downloaded as a stream of bytes. Whereas if it's a record structure or a page structure, you need to have an end of file and end of record or end of page. So for page, it's not a problem. You have a page number and page header, one by one only will be getting. But a record means you are not having any idea, like whether it is how many pages are there in one record, how many amount of data is there. So every time you have to mention this is one record. That is what is given as part 1, part 2, part 3 of a movie. So 1 byte end of the record character and 1 byte end of the file character will be there, and that will intimate your client that the downloading is getting over, and with this information only you will be getting a notification in your system like the download gets over in this much time or this much time. So here the record structure or the page structure, when you are using, you need to have a indication when the download will get over, or when this record, this is one record is getting over, this is part 2 is getting over, like that. Whereas if it is a file structure, it's a continuous stream of bytes, it will not have any end of file. Once the file over, automatically the data connection will be closed. But when you use a record structure and a page structure, the data connection will be still alive to download the entire file. Okay, so the other mode is block mode. Block mode can be delivering from FTP to TCP in blocks. That is, it is not a continuous stream of bytes. It is a group of bytes will be coming, and after some time the next group of bytes will be coming. That is block mode. This mode will not be used in most of the cases in TCP protocol suite. We are not using this block mode. We are default, we are using the stream mode only, and also we will be using the compressed mode. So the compressed mode will be used when the file size is very big, the data can be compressed. So sometimes when you are automatically doing some transmission, when you are doing some uploading or the downloading, automatically the FTP will be compressing your information, and once you will be getting a zip file. No, sometimes you are exporting a zip file, or sometimes you are downloading a zip file. So when you just click some information, it will be downloaded as a zip file in your downloads. Okay, when you click some link, when you want to download the particular file, automatically you will be getting a zip file. Because it is of very big size, so the FTP will automatically switch to a compressed mode, and it is giving the compressed file. And this compressed mode will be specified by the client. Okay, you can zip it and send it to me. For example, even in Google Drive, when you are selecting multiple files and you press download button, this is an indication like so many files I want to download, so you can give me in a compressed mode. So all the files will be put it in a zip folder and you will be getting it. Okay, so if the file size is very big, the data will be compressed, and the mode used is called compressed mode. So these are the different types of modes of FTP. So that's all with FTP. So in FTP you need to know the communication process, and so communication process you have to explain about the different connections, control connection and data connection, and also you need to explain about the different data structures available, the file structure, record structure, page structure, and file type is very simple thing, ASCII or image file, and also you need to know about the transmission modes. So the same question is given as a single question in your assignment that you can practice for the exam. Thank you.